All right, so one of your key employees has resigned. And if you take the advice from my last video, you've managed their departure gracefully and professionally. And you've been able to mitigate the very real dangers of other employees leaving as well. And now once that employee is gone, you can now spot to see if others are thinking about leaving for greener pastures as well. My name is David Stephen Patterson, the SAP recruiter, and today I'm going to share with you the top 5 risk factors or telltale signs that your next key employee is thinking of leaving and what to do about it. Now, the most obvious risk factor is an employee who feels underpaid. Now, there could be justifiable reasons for pay gaps between employees on a team, and those can really just come down to the quality of the work, the experience they bring to the table, their unique skills or training, as well as a variety of other factors. But let's face it, organizations should be meritocracies, where you're paid according to merit. But when the pay gap is not easily justifiable, this can create a real issue for your employees who may not feel like they're getting a fair deal. Now, I'm not proposing that you give everybody a pay raise to fix this, but it is a good idea, especially after a departure, to make sure that you conduct a compensation analysis for your team and identify the appropriate salary ranges available for your team members and determine where everyone should sit on that continuum with respect to those qualities I mentioned before. Now, keeping employees at suppressed salary levels can be a recipe for disaster. Now, the second risk factor is very similar to the first, and that's the employee who feels like they're underpaid when they may not actually be underpaid at all. In fact, this is really common, and quite frankly, because of our very nature, we as human beings live in an echo chamber. We only have our own immediate peers as a measuring stick for where we should be in our own careers. So it's very common for employees to have a personal bias when it comes to assessing their actual contribution to the team. So to address this, make sure that you clearly communicate to your team your company's exact methodology that you use to make salary decisions. Now, be transparent and let them know that they are in fact actually very well paid. Be very clear about the reasons why. Now, the third risk factor is an employee who feels stuck in their current position. Now, studies have shown that employees need to feel like they're growing, whether that means expanding their level of responsibility, their scope of work, or even just working on new challenging projects. So if they don't see that personal growth, then oftentimes they feel stagnant, and that leads to job dissatisfaction. And honestly, it's understandably so. Because after all, don't we all want growth and self-actualization? So my best advice is to not wait for them to come to you and ask for additional responsibilities. They may not. So you can't expect that everyone will show that initiative. So you have to consider asking them what their goals are, asking them what their ideal career path might be, and be open to giving them new projects, new added responsibilities, right? Take a few risks with them, and don't forget to show them appreciation for what they've accomplished thus far, all right? But let them sink their teeth into something challenging, something new, and I guarantee you'll have a happier employee. Now, on the flip side, the fourth risk factor is the employee who has recently been promoted. Now, I know it doesn't make sense, but hear me out. You see, it's in our human nature to feel appreciated and feel like we're doing a good job. And we all want to feel like what we're doing is in alignment with who we are and what we bring to the table. So if you recently promoted let's say a top performing technical team member to a management role, for example, and let's say it's their first management role, to be honest, they may feel overwhelmed and not adequately equipped to handle the added responsibilities, but at the same time, they may not feel like they can come to you to express their doubts about their abilities. Heck, they just got their promotion, right? So make sure you provide extra support as they step up into their new role, and make sure you constantly ask them if they need additional resources or support or training. Make sure you encourage open communication and make sure that they know they can come to you whenever they need assistance, okay, with no judgment. Lastly, the fifth risk factor that you should be mindful of: our employees have recently gone through a major life change. Now, this could be having a new child, getting married, divorced, illness, loss of a loved one, children moving out of the house, now they're empty nesters. Whatever it is, oftentimes major life changes precede career changes. So make sure that your team knows that you value work-life balance and that you'll also be as flexible as you can to accommodate their personal lives, within a reason, of course. So let them know that you believe a happy personal life makes for a much more productive employee. Now, there's not a lot you can do to mitigate this specific risk, as there are so many factors out of your control, but you can at least show them the flexibility and support that they need as they go through that life change. Now, can you completely mitigate all these risk factors? Of course not. And of course, people will leave your organization, and that's fine. But at least if you recognize these risk factors and if you take the necessary steps to mitigate them, you can at least increase the retention of your most valuable team members dramatically. Now, if you have any additional insights, or if you believe you know of other risk factors that one should look for, please contact me personally and let me know. This is a collaboration, and I love to share top tips from leaders such as yourself with the rest of my network in an effort to elevate our entire industry. So with that said, if you're a CIO, VP, or director, and if you're looking for a full service search firm that can not only help identify, attract, and hire the best SAP rock stars, but will also actively work with you to help you retain the team that you worked so hard to build. So consider booking a strategy call with me. No fluff, no hard sales pitch, and you don't even have to engage me in a search. I'll give you proven, actionable strategies that you can start implementing in your recruiting and retention tool bag today. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please share it, hit the like button, and also subscribe, because I'll be releasing much more content just like this in the future. Thanks.